don't stand in no business when it's mine. I've been learning how to listen, but it's taking time. Everybody got advice, but nobody wanna pay the cost.
Here we're talking about the pressure, the purpose, the wins, the weight that comes with being a real father. Whether you're building a business, fighting to be present, or learning as you go, this is where your voice matters. This is Fathers Unmuted. Let's talk. So today I want to introduce our special guest, Mr. Malcolm McLeod, also known as King Mal. Now, he's the author of Crumbled Dreams, as you see, dedicational speaker, a speaking coach, advanced strategist, and 90 days takeoff with anyone's business. So, Malcolm, King Mal, talk to me. Tell me a little bit about the 90-day flight, because I'm looking at it and I'm like, hold on, 90-day takeoff flight. Like, I'm thinking about a plane. Can you tell me what that actually means and what that stands for? How are you helping individuals in 90 days? So before I get into the 90-day flight, right, I definitely want to talk about that. I want to give you kudos and say thank you for having me on Fathers Unmuted. You don't see many podcasts like this that allows individuals to speak about business and day-to-day life, but also speak about fatherhood, the things that we experience as fathers that most people don't want to talk about, the heartfelt moments, and then tying that into trying to make sure businesses or work is going accordingly so you can provide. It's a lot of things that individuals don't speak about. So I appreciate you, and I want to give a shout out to my sponsors, Move in Love. So don't play. Mainly what it says in the back is God doesn't play about me or you, right? And this is a collab shirt that she has with Jody Campbell. So Move in Love and Jody Campbell, thank you for allowing me to wear this shirt today. I appreciate it. Go get your merch and Move in Love. Also, Wolves of Real Estate, shout out to you all, sponsors of mine. If you're looking to get property for low as $3K, you can go to these tax auctions and really take things to another level. Tap in with the Tax Deed Wolf. Lastly, I want to give a shout out to, as you named, Crumbled Dreams, the Arc of Foundations. Want to give you guys the kudos. And since we're on Fathers Unmuted, shout out to you, son. Shout out to you for allowing me to be the example of what a father should be. Shout out to you for giving me that opportunity to be a father and growing with you. I appreciate you. Now, to the 90-day flight. So the reason why I named it that, most people like, bro, really? Is because I think about the flights that I've taken. And you don't see many flight attendants, right? You may see 4, but there's a ton of passengers. You don't see many pilots on there. You see a ton of passengers, right? And I looked at it, I was like, man, a lot of people will allow themselves to have someone else control their destination than actually taking control. We'll rather sit in the seats and buy seats of someone that's taking us to a destination. And I get it, right? And I'm that person, and that's okay. But that just gives you an example how things, if it transitions over into real life, there's a lot of individuals that have the mindset to want to be a business owner, the mindset to do something that they're passionate about, but they don't do it. So they allow themselves to go to work or have someone else do it. And they look at YouTube and live through someone else on YouTube as, oh man, yeah, I want to knit. I want to be a basketball coach. I want to be a business owner, but I love, they're killing it. Oh, they're killing it, man. If I could, if I could, I would be making all that money. You can, but there's a process. So the 90 days is set up where a person's at, right? So what I do is I find out what they're doing currently and where they want to go. And what we do is we alter and put a certain pattern, a certain structure, together to show them how to get there. So if you're already great on social media and you have millions of followers, well, let me show you how to leverage that to get your business where it is. If you don't have any followers, let me show you how to do that. Let me show you how to build this business to where it needs to go. Let me show you how to build this passion. There's no one that can't be anything in life. Only reason they're not anything is because they're allowing themselves to not be anything. And that's why this 90-day accelerated thing that I have that I call Flight is very important, because once you really, really dig deep into who you are, because I'm going to hold you accountable. It's not me just doing this for you. We doing it together. I'm going to hold you accountable, and you're going to reach that goal. And I've seen so many that have gone through this process that they're like, wow, well, if I would have done this myself, it would have took me years. If I would have done this myself, I probably would have never finished, because we're holding you accountable. We're great. So basically, you're advancing people to a point where they can start making money. They can start growing. Their business is already structured at a certain point to get into that next level. Okay, so with that, I'm looking at it from a standpoint of the individuals that are sitting at home and they're thinking like, man, I can't do this. This is impossible. Your whole strategy is to show them, one, that they can, but on the other end is showing them the steps and the process of making that happen, which I feel like I needed you when I started my business, because it took me almost a year to get where I wanted to be. But anyways, what does your son, Junior, need from you now that money, title, or success can't provide? What does he need from you now in this moment that any of those things can't provide? So great question. Without money, title, success, what my child needs. You know what I'll say my child needs? Without any of those titles, my child needs me. Time. Guidance. My son's 4 years old, right? He'll be 5 sometime this year. My son's 4 years old. At his age, he's very curious. He's learning that independence. He's understanding and feeling these emotions, right? And money, title, and success is not going to do what is needed with me being there. So with him, with those emotions, his mother, don't get me wrong, his mom is there. She's on point. She's there. She's very nurturing. My son doesn't really need me to be nurturing, even though I am. He needs me to help him understand what his emotions, what he's feeling. And what I mean by that, right, is at his age, if he's getting frustrated because he's not getting everything he wants and I'm not there, my son, when he becomes older, will be a menace to society. But if I'm showing him, hey, son, look, yeah, you may not receive this, but this is how you handle it. This is what you do at his age. I'm molding him. Even to the point of when it comes to small wins, I'm showing him, yes, son, you may not have made that 3-point shot, right? But let's work on your form. Let's work on your form. It's the small wins. If I'm showing him how to actually hone in on the small wins, the bigger wins are going to come. I'm developing him to be a better man for society, for himself in his world. He'll be able to understand how to control and maneuver his emotions. And I will say this, there's going to be days, because there's days that me, I'm pretty sure you, everyone else have went away from the correct way, right? The appropriate way. We went away from it. But as long as he get it 9 times out of 10, 8 out of 10 correct, where he's controlling his emotions, he's better than half or more than people in today's world. Absolutely. And I love how you broke down that at his age, he needs that development. He needs that understanding. He needs that structure. Because a lot of fathers feel like it's only financial. A lot of fathers are saying, oh, I just need to be a provider and I need the discipline. And it's way deeper than that. When you put it to the magnitude of, I only need to be a father to provide and discipline, you're doing the same exact thing that happened to us, where our parents, our fathers, was only there to hold us accountable when we did wrong and just be like, I put food on your table. And even I, as a kid, I felt like I needed more. So I love how you're with your son. Now, let me ask you this question, because I know there's a lot of business owners out there that may be experiencing this, and you could help. What do you do when your child needs you emotionally, but your business needs you financially? Which one exposes the true fear within you the most? Which one gives you that true, like, oh my goodness? Which one? Which one? Tell me, talk to me. I know it's hard, or maybe not, but still talk to me. So, if my business needs me there financially, and my son needs me there emotionally, which one would I, as far as fear the most? Which one would kind of, and I take the question more so of which one would I feel if I lack, it would be detrimental to either the emotion or the business. Businesses come and go every day. I've seen, if you sit and talk to millionaires, right? If you sit and talk to millionaires, they'll tell you they failed more than they won. They failed more than they won. Needs me more than anything when it comes to emotions. If I'm not there for that one moment that he needs me emotionally, that can hurt him for a lifetime. I'm there emotionally because the business is gonna grow. The business is gonna bounce back. I've missed out on so much because I was there for my son. That dollar, if you once I give you a dollar, it's gonna be spent, it's going to the next hands. Once I handle those emotions, he's going to be able to understand what to do going forward. Memories last forever. That dollar is only momentarily. Yes, it can grow, but that same dollar you'll never see again. I can go get more money. I can build bigger businesses. I failed more than I won. I'm here because you're talking about the successes, but let's talk about the failure. I failed more than I won. I just need to make sure I get him correct. Because if I get him correct, he can win more than I did just because I showed him and I was there present for that emotional moment. So I fear more of not being there emotionally. Okay, great. So to me, I honestly, before you even said that, I looked at it differently. I felt like I would have to be there financially and the emotional part could be on the mother, but how you elaborated, that makes sense because yeah, the mother is there nurturing, right? The mother's nurturing, but the son or the daughter, whoever, as a father, you're not always going to be nurturing, but you're going to give them the understanding of how to control those emotions. Businesses, I've seen multiple, you're right. You're right. I've seen multiple businesses fail and bounce back. But when you miss out on those key emotional connections with your little one or your child, even if they're adults, if you miss out on those key components, that can be detrimental for a long time. So I'm with you when you're right. Now, let's take a second and step back. Tell me about Crumbled Dreams. What made you write this book? What got you to the point of wanting to get it out to the masses? Like, tell me about Crumbled Dreams. So Crumbled Dreams, that's my baby, right? I wrote Crumbled Dreams and didn't put it out for years. Shout out to Mike Felix. Shout out to you, man, because Mike Felix, he told me one day, he was like, "Hey, Malcolm, if you don't put this book out, here, matter of fact, Malcolm, I'm going to charge you. Here, I'm sending you an invoice for $1." I paid that $1. I'm thinking like, oh, he need $1, but I don't know why. Mike got money. He said, "Malcolm, if you don't have that book out within like a week or two, because it's already done, every day. I want to say he said every day, or I'm gonna charge you $100." And I was like, "Bro, you ain't charging me no $100 for this." I put the book out. I kid you not. I put the book out and told people about it. Sell. But Crumbled Dreams is set up, man. And the title of it's Crumbled Dreams, right? The title of it's Crumbled Dreams because every single person in this world has a dream. Some of them put that dream to rest, and some of them are still just sitting on it sleeping, right? And what I mean by that is everyone has a dream. Some just said, "I'll never be able to do that a day in my life." And then there's some that's still saying, "I wish. But what Crumbled Dreams is mainly set up to let people know no matter how crumbled or how much you put it to rest or whatever, it still can turn into something if you want it to. And what I mean by that is all you need is just the vision. And what the book does, it shows you how to cultivate the vision, how to actually evolve the vision into what it really needs to be, how to take what's here and put it on paper and have it and put it into works. And once you understand the true vision, and even in the vision, a lot of times in the book, it takes away from you. It makes it to the point of who's important in your life. And if you didn't do this, how would it hurt them? Matter of fact, if you did do this, how could you help? How could you change their life if this blew up to a multi-million-dollar thing? If this blew up to the point where you made millions of dollars, you made a ton of money, how could this help that person? And they sit back and they're like, well, you know what? I wouldn't have the struggle. I can make sure they're taken care of. I can help them with this situation. Oh, well, this person is about to get evicted. I can change their lives and put them on. And matter of fact, my mom or my children or my significant other or my sister, my brother, whatever, they can change their lives if this blew up. Now, what if you didn't do it? Aren't you tired of being sick and tired? Aren't you tired of being just complacent? Yeah, your job paying you a lot of money. So what? Yeah, your job is doing X, Y, and Z. But what if your job fired you? Then what? Vision. Then we go into how to build value. Once you get the vision, now it's time to build value around it. Be well educated. Get an understanding how to get connected to those in that industry that you want to jump into or doing whatever. It can be, there's people that out here that dumpster dive and they make a fortune. They go get stuff out of dumpster and know how to sell it and they make a fortune. Well, follow the people that's doing it, that's thriving in it. And then write out what it is that you want to do and build the value. Be so well knowledgeable that when you have people that's getting it or connecting to you, even 10% would change their life. And then we go into understanding how to be consistent. A lot of people fail not because they're not well educated, not because they don't have the resources, not because of they don't have the vision. It's because they are not consistent. They start the day, stop the next day, say I'll start next month, do it for a month, I'll do it next year. And they keep bouncing back. It's like popcorn. Every 5 seconds, you stop in the microwave expecting the popcorn to be popped in 5 minutes. It's not going to happen. They want instant gratification and they're not going to get it. It's not going to happen. So understanding the meaning of being consistent, and then understanding the next one is networking, building relationships, connecting with people. Your industry is great, but how can you connect to another industry? I just connected someone that did pressure washing to a realtor. Why did I do that? This realtor, he's an investor. He was getting homes. This can help the realtor. If the pressure washer cleans up the home, cleans up the sidewalks and everything, the beauty of it, that can enhance and help him sell the properties. As an investor, you're looking to sell the properties quick. If beauty is one of the things that's holding you back, connect to a pressure washer. Connect to other industries that some people are like, oh, I don't know if that makes sense. Man, you better make it make sense. And even if that networking don't align with your industry, you can connect them to somebody else. Having connections can change your life, your business drastically. And they may not connect together. But hey, oh, you need this? Oh, I know somebody. Relationship building goes a long way. And then once you knock out those four, it's all about the results. And when you've been able to look at your results, whether you win or lose, and know how to pivot or add on to it, and know how to celebrate the small wins, like I was telling you I do with my son, that's adulthood. Once you know how to do that, it's sky's the limit. It is sky's the limit. So that's Crumbled Dreams. It's set up for anyone, relationship, business, personal. You just got to read it according to everything you do in your life. You got to have a vision. You got to have some type of value, understanding what, like the benefits of it, and all those. Got to be consistent. Got to know how to network with those around you, and get the results. If you're struggling, alcoholic, the 5 keys. If you're struggling in your relationship, the 5 keys, the 5 things. It don't change. It don't change. Wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a business owner, if you're in a relationship, if you're trying to develop yourself in Crumbled Dreams, the title is Crumbled Dreams, right? But it's mainly set up because we all dream, right? That you hear what Malcolm's saying. We all dream, but if we really sit back and understand our vision, if we really sit back and build up our value, if we know how to be consistent, you hear the man's talking about this. If you know how to be consistent, if you know how to build relationships and be very transparent, but be to the point where you're doing it meaningful. And he hit on that because a lot of people are building relationships just for their own gain, not the gain of what they can do for others. When you're looking at all those 4 things, your results, tie those things into it, and the results will come, whether it's results that you have to alter and fix, or if it's results that you have to actually understand, oh, I won, but how can I enhance this win, right? And being able to celebrate the small wins to get to the bigger ones. Get the book, Crumble Dreams. Stop playing. Get the book. It's on Amazon. He's telling you where to go. Amazon, get the book, or you can follow him at King and Mal 3 on IG. Get the book, or you can get the book at kingmal.net. Okay, kingmal.net. So get the book. Stop playing. All right, King Mal, we have a moment, right? In our segment, it's called Fathers Unmuted, Quiet Confessions. And what this is where you sit back and think of a time where something so impactful in your childhood that you've experienced, that now you as a father, you do any and everything to try to avoid, or you're not so secure in that aspect. And the reason why we do this is because we really want those that are listening to understand they're not alone. Us as fathers, we hide emotions, but on here, Fathers Unmuted, we're going to speak and talk about those moments because it's very important that we vocalize things and we help ourselves as we're helping others. What is your quiet confession? Wow. So, Fathers Unmuted, quiet confessions. Okay. Fathers Unmuted, quiet confessions. My quiet confession, man. I had a stepfather, right, which was great. I just didn't know what it felt like to have my biological father, and I did everything I could to, as an adult, I tried to build a relationship, connect again, and the same thing that he did when I was young, right? So as a child growing up, from 1 to 5. My father was he was there. He was addicted. He was alcoholic, did drugs. Father loved women. 1 to 5. But then he things happened and it took over, and he was in and out of my life. And honestly, it impacted me a lot. Mainly because I saw other people with their fathers, right? I saw other people with their fathers, and I didn't know how that felt. I didn't know the feeling of it. And I think that hurt because my aunt would buy gifts, make it as if it was from my father, but I knew it was from her. It sucks. And then when I became an adult, I allowed him to come live with me, and I had my son, allowed him to come live with us. And after a year and a half, I would say the same thing happened. He got back. He went missing. We were looking for him. We're like, where is he? Where is he? Never came back. Finally found out that he was back. I mean, doing same two step. And I get it. You know, old habits are hard to break, but that's when I had to realize that I couldn't allow that to affect me because my son was looking at me, and I couldn't allow him to be in and out of my son's life because he did that to me, and I knew what it did to me. So, quiet confession is, even now, I still hurt from those moments, and I'm afraid that I'm going to mess up. I'm afraid I'm gonna mess up and become absent in my son's life. That's my biggest fear. So my quiet confessions is I don't want to repeat the cycle. Wow. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard him, right? Let's get into it. So, that being said, King Mao, I know I'm going to call you King Mao this whole time. What is something you had to unlearn about fatherhood? I love it, kind of segues into the quiet confession, but what is something that you had to unlearn about fatherhood? What is that? So, as a what I would unlearn, is being absent. I would unlearn being absent, and even with my stepdad, he just work, being absent and not spending the time. My biological father absent, my stepdad worked a lot, so I would unlearn being absent, and I think I'm doing a great job at it. Now I will say my son's 4, and mind you, I told you my dad left at 5, so that's a fear. That's a fear, but I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. My son locked in with me for life, but to unlearn would be, being absent. Gotcha. Okay. So I want to touch with another question that comes. How do you show up for your son on the days you have no emotional energy? Like your emotions are empty. How do you show up? Because the first question, it was tied into how do you unlearn? But now when you have those days that you feel, man, like I have nothing left, how do you show up for your little one? Or, I mean, yeah. How do you show up? So showing up when I have no emotional energy, there are so many days that I run into that. But what I would say is having that communication. I talk to my son, and he's 4, but we have conversations, man. We be in the car talking, or late night talking or whatever. But there's times I'm telling him, I'm like, hey man, there's days, or today daddy just ain't got it, so let's play for like 5 minutes. And then there's days like, yo, let's turn up, and it's basically, man, before I go into the house, before I pick him up from school, I check myself. The day could have been rough, but I check myself, and I'm like, hey Malcolm, man, like King Mal is off. Turn that off. That speaking, that business, the strategies, all that's off. Now fatherhood, the most important thing is time. And so me and my son, we talk. We have that conversation. I'm like, bro, like daddy tired. Let's a few minutes. But I make up for the times that I have full of energy, right? But I feel like communication is needed. There's fathers that just walk in the house, leave me alone. Don't talk to me. I've been working all day trying to make sure you can have this and this. That's not his fault. You had him. That's not his fault. You had him. So, yeah, buddy, tighten up. But yeah, I'll definitely say it would be communicating and letting them know what's going on as far as emotions and endurance and all that. But I still make time, so I give myself enough energy to do at least 5 minutes, and that 5 minutes, give it all I got. So yeah, man, that's tough. And fathers out there, we will have those days that we have nothing left. There's fathers out there that are sitting in the car. They get home, they sit in the car for 30 minutes, decompressing, trying to figure out, okay, I know my job done so much. My job has me at a point where it's like, but I know once I go into this house, he or she, my little one, my teenager, my children, my babies, they're gonna need all of me. And sometimes you just may not have it. You just may not have it. A man told me, he said, I sit in my car to recharge because it's not their fault what work did to me. It's not their fault what work did to me. So he sits in his car and recharges, and then goes, and he may not have enough fuel. He may not have enough to go the full 100 miles per hour, but he said he does whatever he can to get enough fuel to show his kids when he walks in the house that he loves them. And he stated, and I love that you said this too, King Mal. He stated that he has those conversations with his children, that some days daddy's still always going to show you he loves you, embrace, give you a moment. But some days those moments may not be as long as others. If you're trying, you're doing better than most. I just want y'all to know that. If you're trying, you're doing better than most. If you're trying, you're doing better than most. So King Mal, we have another segment, right? And this is our ending segment, but we want you to really be on point, answer quickly. So no thinking, just answer whatever comes to mind. We're going to ask, it's called Fathers Unmuted, Off Mute. Fathers Unmuted, Off Mute. We're going to give you 10 words. Those 10 words, you got to give me something that comes off the top of your head. Are you ready? All right. Child support. Child support needed for fathers that are not in their children's lives. For those that are active and helping out financially, not needed. Side hustle. Side hustle. Making additional income so that you can continuously provide and be there, but don't allow it to take over all of your time where you're not there for the little one. Holidays. Holidays. Be there. Present. Be there. Be there as much as you can. Be there as much as you can. Holidays mean a lot, especially to the younger ones. Mean a lot. Pride swallowed. Swallowing pride is very, very big because there's things that we're learning and we're evolving when it comes to fatherhood. So swallowing pride and allowing ourselves to learn. Communication. Communication, very much needed because as with my son, as he's 4, I'm a 4-year-old father. So as he's 4, I'm a 4-year-old father. So that communication is needed because he's growing and I'm growing as a 4-year-old father. I'll be 5 when he turns 5. So we're growing together. Taking your little ones to school. Taking to school with, so I take my son. I have to take my son to school every day. Now there are days that I can't because of certain things, but I pride myself into taking him to school. So that's where pride comes in. I pride myself in taking him to school and picking him up because I want him to see my face. In those daycares, it's mostly mothers that are dropping their kids off, but I want to make sure my son know that he got me and I'm there. And they, even in daycare, they're like, hey, Mr. Malcolm, Mr. McLeod, and they come hang out with us and everything. So it's a must to me. Eye contact. Eye contact. You gain respect by looking a person in the eyes. Never allow a person to make you look away. I tell my son, look, eye contact, because it shows that, hey, I'm here. Not to be dominant or anything, but I respect you enough to look in your eyes and have a conversation with you. So it's all about being able for him to give that respect and receive it. Right. Sports. My son, if he does sports, he does it. If he doesn't, it's okay. Whatever it is he's doing, you might as well go ahead and kick me out, because I'm cheering like he's in sports. Like he shot a 3-pointer. If he's in spelling bee and got it right, that's my boy. Let's go. I'm turning up. I don't care what it is. Science project, whatever it is. You just be ready. Be ready. Hugs. I'm very big on expressing love. We hug every day. We do something where every day and mainly every night, great, amazing, strong, handsome, daddy's favorite, I love you. We say that I said, and he repeats after me, and we hug, or we do our special handshake. But it's something that we do. Anytime I take him to school, before he goes to that classroom, we stop and we sit in the chair and we do that. And not for nobody to notice, but for me to speak affirmations into his life and let him know, hey. And if I miss it, like at night, he'll be like, Dad, we'll pray. He'll be like, Dad, you didn't do great. And I'm like, oh, and we do it. So definitely. Being called a dad. Now, oh, I ain't supposed to pause. It means everything to me. Now I see why the men that are present in their kids' life love it so much, embrace it. It means that's the best title I could ever have. The other titles are great, but I'll take that title over anything. So being called a dad is definitely great answers, man. Great answers. I love it. I appreciate you for taking the time out to joining us today at Fathers Unmuted. You are showing a great example of what fatherhood truly is, right? You're not perfect. We never will be perfect, but you're always giving it you're always giving it 100% every step of the way. And I want to give you your flowers. I want to let you know that we definitely appreciate you with all and everything that you do. And we thank you for joining us at Fathers Unmuted. Absolutely. So once again, thank you for having me on Fathers Unmuted. I appreciate you. This has been amazing, being able to really open my eyes up and see things that I didn't even think about, right? So I appreciate you for that. But then being able to speak, and hopefully I help somebody as well. Definitely, once again, if you don't mind, shouting out my sponsors, Move in Love, the collab shirt with Jody Campbell and Move in Love, also Wolves of Real Estate, and then my team, the Arca Foundations, Crumble Dreams. Shout out to everyone, my son, my lady, everyone, my mom, my family. I mean, everybody, man. Shout out to everyone. If you're a father listening or watching this, know this: you're needed, you're seen, and your presence matters more than you know. You don't have to be perfect, but you do need to be present. Until next time, Fathers Unmuted. See you soon. That's the pod. Fathers Unmuted. Like, subscribe, comment. King Mao 3.
I can show you how to carry the weight even when you feel lost. Fathers Unmuted. Still two-stepping through the chaos, falling like the playoffs.